Almost there. Hello, everybody. It's Matt from Cruise.blog. Welcome. We are live. It's not our first live. I think I did lives like 3 years ago. But anyway, it's our first live in a really long time. Thank you for joining us here. Joining me on today's broadcast is Angie, also from Cruise Blog, one of our digital content creators. Welcome, Angie.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Of course, I'm excited to talk celebrity with you today. Angie and I were both on Celebrity Ascent it was last week, right?
Yes, it
Nice.
was just a few days
Nice.
ago.
And of course, we're going to be talking celebrity and answering your cruise questions, celebrity or otherwise. Feel free to put your questions into the chat. Already, we have two lovely folks in our chat room. Even before we began, Leo Hartman, hello. Allie, hello. Glad to have you all here. And actually, as you know, Angie, I'll start off any live broadcast I do with a countdown to how many days to your next cruise. So, what's your next cruise coming up?
My next cruise is on Odyssey of the Seas. It's on
Ooh.
January 6th. Yeah.
Yeah, the I like to call it's like the forgotten new Royal Caribbean cruise ship. Just got lost in the shuffle, between Wonder and the Icon hype. It's just like, yeah, it's new too, and it's a great ship also.
I know. I'm very excited. I've already been on it. I was on it last year for the Holy Land trip that we did as a family, and that was an amazing
Yeah,
itinerary. And the ship was just awesome too. So I'm excited to go
cool.
back.
My next cruise is on Mariner of the Seas, January 1st. So excited to go back on one of my favorite ships,
Oh,
for sure there. But Kyle's got NCL Gem in October of 2024. Nice.
oh,
Jared is also going on Odyssey there, Angie. Angie, do you have any tips for Jared going on Odyssey? What's like your favorite spot on there? Must
well,
do.
yes, from what I remember, is it called the 360 room? Is that what that at the back of the ship? They have those
Oh,
really
270.
those. Yes,
Yeah,
270.
270.
There we go. Yes. Definitely go there.
Nice.
The show is so cool.
Theodore's going on Icon February 17th. Fantastic. We're going to have a lot of Icon of the Seas coverage coming up in, the next, I would say 2 months, but really it's going to be like 6 to 9 months. But yeah, it's a lot of coverage coming up next month for sure. And Angie, you and I are going on Icon of the Seas also next month for the inaugural.
Yes, very excited for that.
Ali's got NCL Dawn to Africa. Definitely a different kind of cruise over there. And Just Sit Go. Celebrity Infinity, July 20th. Any tips in staying in the retreat? So let's talk about the retreat. Actually, we're going to talk about entertainment first, but you know what, Angela? Let's jump right into it. Talking about the retreat. So when we were on Celebrity Ascent, we both stayed in a Sky Class suite, right? Did I have that right? Is that the
Yeah,
name of it?
Aqua Sky class.
Aqua Sky. Yep, sweet. And that has access to the retreat. So a couple things. Number one, I mean, you have access to Lumine, which is the exclusive restaurant for guests staying in the retreat. And you and I had dinner there at the retreat at Lumine, I should say. And that's a great perk because it's like your own little main dining room. What did you think of Lumine?
I really liked it. It was very good. I really liked the meal that we had. And my sister and I, we also ate at Lumine for breakfast on the day of disembarkation. And we also
Cool.
really feel that was there too.
Yeah, the nice thing also about Lumine is so they have their own menu that's different than the main dining room menu. But our waiter was adamant that if we wanted something from the main dining room, that he would grab it for us. So don't hesitate to ask for any special requests. Everybody seems really, I guess, passionate, upfront about ensuring that if you have a special request, they will make it happen. So definitely look into that as an idea. In terms of the rest of the retreat, obviously get to. I'm not sure, just to go if you have like a butler or you have access to the concierge staff that's in there, but get to know whoever that person is, the concierge, your butler. They're really really helpful. Obviously, when you get to the cruise terminal, there will be a special area for retreat guests to go to check in. Super easy, super relaxing. Take advantage, basically, of spend as much time in there as you possibly can. Right. We have our sister channel, Royal Korean Blog, in here, which makes me wonder who actually is on this channel. It could be Jenna, it could be anybody. I don't know. And it's a patty party. It's official. Going on Odyssey January 6th too. So you have your extremely junior assistant coming with you, Angie.
That's right. Yep. And she's very excited.
Janice is doing Radiance of the Seas through the Panama Canal in April. Oh, I am jealous. Have you ever done the Panama Canal?
No, I haven't, but my parents did. They just did it like less than a year ago, and they did it on Celebrity, and they loved it.
Nice.
Hmm.
I'm in a Sky Suite, and we're going to Greece. Wow. So you got Greece and the Sky Suite. That is that is pinkies up right there, and I salute you. That is very very nice. So, all right, Jenna has outed herself as the mystery person. So Jenna wants to know what celebrity itinerary do you want to try, Angie?
Ooh, I think actually the Panama Canal one sticks out in my mind. I was very jealous when my mom and dad did that one, and it, it
Yeah.
just it just sounded awesome. I would love to do that kind of itinerary, and
I
I'm so excited that my family and I were going to do a celebrity cruise to Australia, and we're very excited.
oh,
Yes, in
that's
October.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Yeah, I
What about?
think if I had to pick I think I really want to try the Galapagos one sounds amazing. That's something Celebrity does that you really don't even think about as much, but they have expedition ships that go out of South America to the Galapagos, and if they're custom built ships, it's really interesting because it's usually you don't find that on a as big of a line as Celebrity or Princess or Holland America, but they have these. They actually have I think two ships for sure, Expedition and Flora. They have a third one. I can't remember on that. But, but they go to this and that's, like, something that's just, like, completely different, very intimate experience. I would love to try that out.
That sounds awesome.
Uh, yeah. Sherry from Crucives TV in the house, a veritable celebrity here, Angie. So you're being watched not only by our amazing viewers, but also, like, one of the top YouTubers of all time. It's like PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, and Sherry in that order.
Amazing.
Welcome, Sherry. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jenna volunteers to the Galapagos. I think you've used up all your volunteer stuff at this point. Now you got like I think Jenna she went to Australia, she went to Antarctica. So I think like Margaritaville at Sea is her next cruise that she's got to go to, like to rebalance the universe.
I don't know how they'll feel about that.
So let's talk about the entertainment back on Ascent. You saw a lot of the shows. I saw some of the shows on there. On Ascent. First of all, I love the theater. I thought it was a really cool design. I don't know other ships that maybe have that kind of a theater, but the screen, the stage, I really enjoyed it. What did you like about the entertainment on Celebrity Ascent?
I also really loved the theater. It did remind me of the, is it 270 on the
Yes.
Odyssey? It was just like that whole encompassing screen. It
Yeah.
was, entertainment was so very high quality. I loved it.
Yeah. Bridges, which is the first show that we saw, I really liked it. Bridges was like it was basically they would take a song, like a well-known pop song, and turn that into a little skit. I'm not sure what the right word is there. And it was really cool because it was new music. I mean, they even had that new Dua Lipa song from the Barbie movie that
Oh yeah.
Dance the Night. Yeah, that was in there. Like it's pretty rare that you get that new of a song on a cruise ship. Usually, like cruise ships are like 2-3 years minimum away
Hmm.
from those songs appearing on there. But they
Yes.
had they had the Beatles. They had all sorts of a good array of music, and it was a nice it was a nice medley, and I really enjoyed that show.
Yes, I really liked the modern music as well. I had that same thought. It's like, oh wow, like that all the music, it's like I know all the songs. It's
Yeah.
so
Um, and then of course they also have over at the Eden, they have shows as well. And the one over there was the Shimmer Box, which is I gotta be honest with you, I'm a little leery of anything that involves audience interaction. And there was one gentleman who I think was named Tom who got picked. But assuming you're not sitting in the front row, you're probably not getting picked for it. Anyway, that was an interesting show. Certainly something different, and I appreciated that. What'd you think of that show?
Yes, I also thought it was fun. I didn't know what to expect, because the stage isn't super large,
Yeah.
but it was very interesting. It was very fun. It was something different. I really liked it. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, something different is definitely a good way to describe it. I'm so used to the Royal Caribbean shows, and this one was definitely a different kind of variety, and you can appreciate what that is, certainly, especially from afar. I didn't want to sit in the front row and see that there, but I thought they did a good job with it. And of course, the live entertainment. And there's a lot of live entertainers around the ship. So you have the shows, then you also have the different bands and the singers. There's a great Celebrity's got a great duo that performs in the Eden on other nights, and there's the closest thing to like a pub singer, I guess. I mean, they sing well-known pop songs, but they're not sung to the same tune. Like they're more of like a coffee house version of it, and I like that. I thought it was something different to do. So
Mhm.
it was nice that they had it. And the venues are absolutely beautiful. Just to sit in, whether no matter what they're doing in there.
Yep. There's music everywhere, it seems. Everywhere where you're walking, there's just some music playing and or people singing and all that stuff. I really
Yeah.
like.
So of course, Angie and I, late night partiers, like we're just laid up till 3 a.m. Just
Oh
oomph, oomph,
yeah.
oomphs all the way. The what'd you think of the Shine the Night party? Because it was interesting. They kind of hyped that up. This is the pool party on Celebrity Ascent, and earlier in the day they were talking about all the uh, LED and sound system upgrades and all this stuff that's going to be like, wow, okay, cool. Like it sounds like it's going to be something really different and special. We went up there and it certainly was. I mean, there were a lot of people up
Mm.
there for a pretty big pool deck.
Yeah, yeah. It reminded me of like the headphone disco parties that other cruises have like on the pool
Yeah,
deck. It's just people dancing, having fun and having some drinks and just interacting and stuff. And it's always fun to see. I liked
yeah.
to see all the
If we
fun
go
stuff.
back though, Angie, if we go back, we need to make sure we pack our sparkle clothes because that was like the memo we didn't get that you're
Yes,
supposed to wear like sparkle clothes. So imagine
yes.
like you are the mirror ball in a disco. That's essentially what they're going for here. They want the people to be sparkly so that the lights bounce off of you. And I like that. I appreciate that it's not just like a white party or a red party or something that we've seen on other lines. I'm not sure that other lines do a sparkle party, but I thought it was a neat idea, certainly.
Yeah, it was very cool. I liked all the little decorations that they had in the pool as well, like the little glowing balls that they had in there.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
You think do you think a lot of this, like when I saw this, and again, I don't cruise on a lot of other lines, so maybe this is just my naivety, whatever that word is. Me being naive. But do you think some of these things are also inspired maybe a little bit by what Virgin is trying to do and trying to get like, that more of a different vibe as opposed to like same old, same old?
Potentially. Yes.
You
It
because
kinda
you were
yeah. It seems
because you
like
were
I
on Celebrity Beyond. Did they do something similar on there or was it different on their
yeah. I don't remember if they did a party like that, or maybe they did, but maybe me and Allie just didn't go to it. I don't really
Yeah.
remember. I
Okay.
actually when Allie were on Beyond, we didn't go to any of the theater shows. And again, I don't remember why we didn't because I would've. I love to see the shows. So,
Yeah.
I was very happy to see them on Ascent.
Elizabeth is here. Love hearing y'all. I can just hear her say that with her North Carolina accent. Y'all talk about all things Ascent. Book July 24 to Greece for your honeymoon. Nice. That's you're the second person in our chat going to Greece on Celebrity. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
sounds like a really really nice idea there. Dillingham, hello. Really enjoying this conversation. Hope you guys can do more of these lives with multiple hosts. Yeah. So the plan is probably should have said that earlier. The plan is to inter swap out some of our staff, and Angie will be back, of course, to talk about other things as well. But between Carnival, NCL, Margaritaville, let's see, we've got folks who've been on all these lines. So it'd be nice to be able to change that up and bring on some people. So that is the plan, Dillingham. You are exactly on the same wavelength as we are in terms of trying to do that. So today we want to talk about celebrity. If you have celebrity questions or really any cruise questions, we can try our best to answer them. Angie's been on Carnival a couple times. You went on NCL.
Yes, I just got back from Norwegian Viva a couple days ago. It
What'd
was
you think? What'd you
yeah,
think?
I really liked the ship. I haven't done a Norwegian cruise in like 12 or 13 years. It's been a very long time. So I was very excited to see what it was like and all the different changes and stuff like that. And it was very fun. I really liked it. The ship was just beautiful, very modern. All the just the details and the artwork. It's beautiful. And it was also decorated for Christmas and stuff. So that was
Hmm.
also very there are Christmas trees everywhere and there's just wreaths and all that fun stuff. So it was it was a great time. I loved the Viva. Lots of fun.
Jenna says that sounds like a good article idea for you.
Oh yeah, that's good thinking.
Allie's planning on doing a Celebrity Apex to Norway. I'd love to get your Norway cruise tips. I mean, I think that you probably already know this, Allie, but plan ahead. I mean, your tours, don't try to wing it. This isn't like, I think that so many of the tours, especially the ones that go to either a glacier or more into a fjord, are obviously going to be very in demand. So try to book those up as early as you can. For the fjords, if you're doing, I'm not sure which itinerary Apex does into the fjords, but if there's actually like a sail into like the Garanger Fjord, you would definitely want to wake up early. It's just like doing Alaska. You want to be up there early to be able to see around you. And unlike Alaska, which is like Alaska is very remote and there's nothing to see. I mean, beautiful mountains and what have you. But anyway, in the fjords, there's like communities and towns, and it's really interesting. Is you get that dichotomy of beautiful landscape and also towns and cities that dot the area. And then of course, and depending on which fjord you do, we went to Garanger and they did a little 360 spin by Seven Sisters. So, you want that's the day you want to make sure you wake up early. And if you don't have a balcony, I would even if you have a balcony, forget it. Go up to the public decks and watch from up there because that way it's so much easier to be able to go like, oh, there's something over there, as opposed to your balcony, in which you're fixed on one location. So I'd say that's a big thing. And if you do go to Granger, I would say they have electric cars you can rent, not through the cruise line, but if you Google it, electric cars in Granger, you're going to find the company. That was an awesome tour. I really like that quite a bit. So definitely check that out.
And you were
Uh,
just on the Apex, right,
yeah, I
Matt?
went on Apex the week before we went on Ascent.
Yes. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts comparing the ships. Which one did you like more? Or
I like the touches that Ascent had. So I'd give a slight edge to Ascent. I tend to gravitate towards newer ships anyway. Not that Ascent is an older ship. I mean, not that Apex is an older ship. But, I like the little tweaks they made with Ascent. Obviously, the Annex alone, I thought was a really cool idea. We'll talk about the Annex, and let's talk about that now. The Annex is like a multi-purpose private venue that you can rent. You could do karaoke, you could play VR games like, golf or baseball or football. You can watch a movie in there. You can, watch a sporting event, like if there's a football game or something you wanna watch, you can rent it. I love this idea, Angie, of renting out a space for you and your friends and just to hang out and without like other people around. You can be like, it's more relaxing, and I think you can enjoy it more if you're not worried about like bothering somebody else, if that makes sense.
oh, definitely. And you get the food included as well. Is that correct? From the craft social bar. And that food
Yeah,
is really good over there. I really
that
like
food
eating.
was excellent. Yeah, that
Yes.
food is basically, it reminded me so much of Playmakers on Royal Caribbean. Like I swear those fries are exactly the same fries from there. Those were good. Um, it was fantastic. So I like it was like 200 to 350 depending on if it's a port day or sea day and or which activity you want to do. And for up to 15 people. I feel like I feel like Celebrity's gonna realize sooner or later, like, this is way too cheap because that seemed like really low, I thought. And you get it for 2.5 hours. Like that,
Mm.
15 people, 2.5 hours. I don't know. Maybe I'm so used to like Royal Caribbean's prices these days, but maybe that's it just seemed like on low end of things. But I would love that. That could be like our staff retreat there, Angie. That's what we should do.
That sounds lots of fun to me. I'm excited. I think the carrot
uh
was the thing that
Miss NCL is here herself. Haley, hello, good to see you.
Hi,
Can't you
Haley.
like can't you like yell out your window and she'll answer?
Oh, yeah, she's only a few minutes away.
Let's talk about dining on a set. We talked about Lumine already because we did that for dinner on night one. I gotta say, first of all, we're gonna talk about other restaurants we ate at, but I have to give an ode to the Ocean View Cafe. I thought I loved buffets before, like the Windjammer, but Ocean View Cafe was is my favorite. I could eat there every single meal. Well, I probably miss the French onion soup in the main dining room. I'd go there for that. But
Yes,
I thought the selection, the variety, the amount of cooking stations was truly impressive. And Angie, I would like to get your thoughts because you've been on Carnival, and I know that Allie, one of our other writers, is not really a big fan of Carnival's buffet.
yeah.
So not to say that all buffets are great. So what are your thoughts on Ocean View Cafe?
I also really like the Ocean View Cafe. And like you said, there's so many options, lots of stations, and just a huge variety of options to pick from. On Carnival, their buffet, so the last one I was on was the Mardi Gras, and they do have a very large space for the buffet, but I feel like they just don't have as many options. Like
Yeah.
they have like the main food area. Then they have a few other little stations of like there's like an ice cream station and there was
Yeah.
like a teriyaki station, I think. Um,
Yeah,
but
there was the
just
stir fry, there
yeah,
was the panini station, there was the pasta custom pasta station, and then they were grilling up something on the other side, some sort of a meat grilling thing of some kind. It was just I was impressed by the variety
yes.
and the cooking stations. It's one thing to have variety, it's quite another and other to have cooking stations. They had both. If I can be honest, the one it wasn't disappointing. I was just surprised, I guess, was the pizza. They never seemed to be able to staff the pizza correctly. They were always surprised, like that the people wanted pizza. I don't know. This is weird because their pizza was excellent, really, really good. Dare I say, better than Sorrento's on Royal Caribbean. But every
Yes.
time we went back there, they were always out of pizza, and it wasn't like out of pizza. Like, hang on a second, we have three in the oven; it'll come right out. They'd be out of pizza, and they'd be like, "Oh, people want this? All right, give us 15 minutes. We'll cook up a new pizza." And it's like, come on, cruise ships, pizza, late night, you know. But
Very
that reminds me of one other thing, Angie. Was that on Ocean View Cafe, they have a late night offering. So the Ocean View Cafe closes at like 9 or 9:30, whatever it is. And then they keep open like a station and a half of food, which I thought was amazing because Royal Caribbean doesn't do that. Have you seen that on other lines that have something like that?
Well, it does remind me of Celebrity Silhouette. I went on that earlier this year, and I did. I really liked how they had that late night. They just did a little section of the buffet, and they had like pizza, and they had some desserts and other random little foods. But I remember we went there, and I was really happy to get a late night slice of pizza and a little dessert, and I really liked that. I can't think of other. I don't think, or maybe Carnival does. I
Yeah,
think a late night thing, but I just personally have not gone to it. Yeah,
there you go. Elizabeth says Carnival has some late night stuff as well. So
there you
I hope
go.
that yeah, I hope Royal Caribbean adopts. I love that idea. I mean, you don't have to have like I would appreciate a full buffet open at midnight, but you need something more than like either pizza or room service past 9 o'clock. That's all.
That's true. Yes.
And then we ate at Le Petit Chef on this for our second dinner. What'd you think of Le Petit Chef?
I did, I liked it. I liked that it was a different meal because I have done Les Petits Chefs earlier this year when I was on the Celebrity Silhouette, and I was expecting the same meal for this time on Ascent. So I knew exactly what I was gonna get, I knew exactly what the show was gonna be, but when we sat down, I was like, "Oh, it's all new. It's different, a new menu." So I was actually happy to have something different and new.
Yeah,
Um, and I did like the meal, but I also liked the show was different,
yeah.
but I think I actually preferred the meal on Silhouette just slightly more, but I still really liked what it was on Ascent.
Yeah. I think the interesting thing about the meal there so they have a we did not do Le Petit Chef on Apex purposefully, even though I got 2 kids, and I think they would love the show, but the menu is fixed.
Yeah.
And looking at the menu, there was nothing my kids were gonna eat. I mean, nothing. They're too picky. It is what it is. I've lost that battle a long time ago. Um, but when we went there, we there's the menu, there's the alternative menu, and then there's a kids menu. So we were able to pick in between. The nice thing is you don't have to have like one or the other. You can interchoose. You can cherry pick something from the main menu, something from the alternative, something from the kids menu. And we actually had for our second appetizer, we all picked the pasta from the kids menu because we just thought that just sounded much better than the option there. I've only eaten at one, but I thought the food was very good. I enjoyed it, and the show was interesting. I thought it was a little slow paced. Like there were a
Yeah.
couple times where it felt, especially in the beginning before it ever started, I felt like well everyone's here clearly. I think, but maybe you know what it was, Angie. Don from Eat Sleep Cruise was slowing everything down.
I
Obviously,
think so.
Uh,
I think you're
yeah.
right. Yep.
yeah.
That was the problem.
We have a question for you, Angie. Christine and Rob D want to know what is the best place for sail away on Celebrity Silhouette, and how was my time dining on Celebrity? So, why don't you talk about what do you think is your favorite spot for sail away on Silhouette?
I would say my sister and I, we went to the Sunset Bar at the very back of the ship. That is a very good place for the sail away. I remember we went there when we were in Nassau and then we were sailing away. We had a drink in our hand. It was just beautiful. So I would definitely recommend that spot for sail away. Um, and then with the My Time dining, remember on Celebrity Silhouette, there's just one main dining room. And I believe we had a set time. It was like 6 o'clock or something like that. So we didn't do the my time on Celebrity.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not sure if how that would work, but yeah, we had a set time.
Yeah, I would say that if it's anything like Royal Caribbean, make reservations. You want to avoid not having a reservation unless you're willing to dine at like 8:30 or something like that. I suspect that's not the case. Most people want to roll in around 6, 7 o'clock, which is the high demand. So if you can make a reservation, that is definitely the way to go to avoid waiting there. We have another question from Kyle. A daytime live? How is Celebrity for a family with younger kids so younger than teenagers? So when I went on Apex, we went there. This is Thanksgiving, so there were a lot more kids on board. But I was very impressed by the venue. The venue itself was small. The amount of square footage felt smaller than Adventure Ocean on Royal Caribbean. However, Celebrity will take the kids out of camp at sea, and take them somewhere else, which was really surprising. On Royal Caribbean, they will never take the kids out of the room. They just keep them in there the whole time. But they had special events like they would do a campfire up at Rooftop Garden. They would do a pool event, which seems like a huge liability, but nonetheless, they did a pool time. So they did different things. It's far more curated than like there's like we're going to do this and this and this and this as opposed to free range child programming where it's like all right, everyone's in the room and you get to pick and choose. So I think that's an advantage for the kids because they're going into this place, they're not necessarily knowing anyone on board. I think it's nice that they have some direction, and that fosters, I think, also meeting making friends because you're inevitably then forced to interact with other kids there, and and kids just need a little shove sometimes. So I think it's certainly better than I expected, and there is kids programming on board, and there is a teen club, and the space was nice. So I think it's a great idea. I wanted to talk about you were answering Christine and Rob D's question about my dining real quick on Apex. I don't know if you ran into this when you were on Silhouette. So we had traditional dining like you did. We did like 6 o'clock dinner. Cool. It says in the app, 6 o'clock dinner. Great.
Yep.
We get on board the ship, and by our cabin, there is a letter, and it says, you're confirmed for dinner at 5 o'clock at the same restaurant that we thought we did. Okay, well, that's weird, but maybe they changed the time on the sailing. All right. So we all get dressed early, go down to 5 o'clock to dinner, and the restaurant isn't even open. Not only not open, they're still setting up. There's like waiters there. And we're like, all right, 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes goes by, and they're still like just setting up. So there was we were staying in aqua class, and there was a concierge like right around the corner for that. We go to the concierge, we're like, hey, it says here we're supposed to be here at 5, but they're not open yet. And the lady's like, oh, we send that to everybody. It's not really a thing. We just want people to go to the main dining room at some point. So it's like a reminder. I was like, but then why does it say 5? Like it made no sense. That was the only weird, truly like strange thing that we ran into on Apex.
That is very weird. I've
Yeah.
never seen that.
Yeah. So we were talking about so Le Petit Chef. We talked about that. Anything else dining? I'm trying to remember where. Oh, for lunch, I ate at with that restaurant in the Eden, not the Eden restaurant, like the Eden restaurant. There was like the cafe. Yeah,
Yes, I had breakfast there. I had a really good breakfast sandwich, and it was very good. I'm glad that I went there because my sister just wanted coffee from the
yeah,
coffee shop, and I was like, I need something more. Like, I want like a real meal. So I went over to the Eden Cafe and got a breakfast sandwich. I liked it. It was very good.
yeah.
It had good.
Yeah, they have great sandwiches there. That I had a Reuben for lunch, and the nice thing is not only they have seating out there, you can go outside. And I'm a sucker for eating outside, Angie. If there's outdoor seating, I just love that.
Yes, it was a very pretty. The whole Eden area was just beautiful. I really liked
Yeah.
it.
Um, how about the Grand Plaza? I mean, that's something different on Ascent than you'll find on Edge or Apex. The layout is different. The chandelier is more center in the ship as opposed to set backwards. I read that on paper beforehand. I was like, well, that doesn't seem like a big deal. And then you see it, it's like, oh, that's actually much nicer. Like the flow works a little bit better. I know that you had some drinks in the Grand Plaza. What'd you think of the area?
Yeah, it was very nice. It also looked very similar to Beyond when we were there. It looked pretty much the exact same. But yeah, me, my sister and I, we had a martini there and it was very good. I really like the dessert martinis that they have. Um, and it was just a really fun atmosphere. It was that same night when I stayed there and they were going to do a little show. And that was also kind of something a little weird. They didn't say exactly what time it was going to be. I heard some rumblings of people saying, oh, yeah, it's going to be at 10 o'clock. So I'm sitting there at 10 o'clock, waiting, waiting, waiting. I think about 20 minutes go by. I'm like, okay, when's this show going to happen? And then I think I heard somebody else say, oh, it's going to be at 10:30. It's like, okay. So I sit and wait, wait, wait. And eventually it did happen at about like 10:35 or something like that. But I'm glad that I did stay and I was able to see the fun show because it was cool. It was very fun. I
Nice.
like all that.
Awesome. All right, we've already hit our 30 minutes here, Angie, and I promised you that we would turn into pumpkins at 30 minutes. So before we get going, do you have what's your best celebrity cruise tip?
Oh, wow. Hmm. That's a good question. I I may have
Well,
to think. How about you
yeah,
go?
I'll let you think. I'll go first.
Yes.
I guess my tip is if you're going on an edge class ship, make an effort to get out to the magic carpet. I kind of had to like force myself to go out there because I was like, oh, it's another bar. But really, it's a really nice spot. Great, perspective out there because you're off on the side of the ship. They got great drinks. I know that depending on the time of day, they can do different things over there. The magic carpet can move around and do different, and become a different kind of venue. But I think that's absolutely a must do if you're on a edge class ship. It's just a neat place. So I would definitely recommend getting a drink or just spending some time. Bring a book, watch Sherry from Crucible TV, whatever the case may be. Hang out there on the magic carpet. It's really nice.
Yep. And I think I know what my tip is. Definitely make an effort to go to the shows
Mm,
because when I was on Beyond, like I said, we didn't go and I was a little disappointed about that, but I made that effort to go on Ascent and it was worth it. I really love the shows.
awesome.
It's so fun. So definitely recommend going to at least one show.
Great. Well, Angie, thank you so much for joining us here. This will not be your last appearance here on our YouTube channel. We're going to work some more in. I think we should do this is on the spot here, but we should definitely do at one point. I want an Allie and Angie sister broadcast where all you do is share funny stories and do sister, like how sisters talk. It's different than when you and I talk. So I think there's some cruise
Fun.
memories. Yeah, family cruising memories would be a fun broadcast to do.
That
I
would
think that'd be a good one.
Patty could even join too. That would be
Love
fun.
it. Well, Angie, thank you again for joining us here. Thank you everybody for joining us here on our channel. And like I said, we're hoping to do this more regularly. Friday seemed like a good day, maybe right around this 11 o'clock thing. So Allie says we can talk about Angie swiping her C pass in the arcade for everyone.
Yes. That's story time.
Awesome. Well, have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll talk soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everyone.
Bye.